move toward remote work and relying on these types of video technologies, it doesn't come naturally to everyone, or at least not to everyone in the same way with the same degree of comfort. So I believe there's a fairly high degree of upskilling or reskilling, if you want to think of it that way, in terms of how to participate in work that's being done remotely with a virtual team where people are not all physically together. And there's definitely a need for leaders, people who manage other people, to learn how to do that and get comfortable with it.
And in a moment of enormous global disruption, like the current situation, then industries that have been limping along for decades, knowing that they were in trouble, are suddenly falling off a cliff, like the retail industry. The fact that we're in a COVID environment where suddenly all the rules have changed. So I think employers really understand that.
Obvious that the companies that are able to train their leaders and staff to work effectively in a remote way will gain competitive advantage against others that don't, and continue to operate in a less than ideal way.
But if you've looked at the data, there's been more change in the last 2 months than in the last 10 years. So I think culture is the most important thing, getting ready for change.
Post the crisis, we're going to have to start thinking about how to make sure that we train leaders to run businesses and to lead teams in a remote way. I think that's going to be pretty important. I think it's going to become a competitive advantage for companies who can do that.
There are a lot of different dimensions to helping people develop capability and skill to manage in a remote environment. However, I would say that the single most important foundational one is trust, where the largest resistance always comes from in the leaders that I work with is the issue of trust, or maybe better said, lack of trust.